Guys, what's up? It's Rachel back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the new Anastasia Beverly Hills palette with Amrezy. This is what the packaging looks like. It's absolutely stunning, and I actually have a lot to say about this palette. I'm not going to be applying the shadows on my eyes or testing them out for you guys because I have been playing with this palette quite a lot and I kind of got the feel for it. I know what I think of it, and I just have a lot to say about the palette in general. But before we get into it, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you'd like, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you can also hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. But I'm going to go ahead and get started talking about this new palette with Amrezy. So the first thing that I have to say is the packaging is absolutely stunning on this palette, and if you are a collector of Anastasia palettes, then this is probably one that you would want to have in your collection. Some people are that crazy that they pick up every one that comes out. I'm that person. I always do. Even though if you've been here on my channel for a while, then you know that I have like a love-hate relationship with Anastasia when it comes to her formula. Overall, it really does work for me. The subculture I'm a little iffy on. I understand it, but I was a little iffy on it. But there's just some palettes of Anastasia's that the formula's good, I just don't reach for them. And I feel like that's because I just prefer some of her color stories more than others, I guess you would say. So again, the packaging, absolutely stunning. It did come in a box like this. The palette is longer because it does have 2 more shadows than her original palettes. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. I have been playing with this palette quite a lot. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You have a mixture of mattes, you have some metallics, and you do have some pressed glitters. I will go off and start by saying that you do not need this palette whatsoever. If you're a collector of Anastasia palettes, then I say go for it. I know that I am. If you love Amrezy and you want to support her, I say go for it. But for the quality in this palette, I don't feel like it's that great. It's okay. It's not the worst shadows that I've used, but the quality is just not great. Again, this is what you have going on. The color story is pretty, but it is nothing unique. If you have a lot of the past palettes that they've come out with, then you probably don't need this one whatsoever. It kind of looks like a mix of the Norvina palette with these shades down here, and then it also looks like a mix of the Riviera palette. I always say that wrong. Riviera. I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, but this pink and this blue is giving me the same vibe as that palette. There's nothing wrong with this pink and there's nothing wrong with this blue. It's just, it's nothing different. And that was like the main standout in that last palette that they came out with. It wasn't the last one they came out with, but it's been like a few palettes back. Me personally, I never did get a whole lot of use out of that Riviera palette. I just don't grab for it. The colors are pretty and the formula is pretty good, but it's just, I don't know. I just don't grab for that color story. Nothing about that palette excites me. And I remember at that time, I was so into it because Anastasia didn't really do color at that time. They were just venturing into color, I feel like. And then after that, it's like everything just blew up. You had the Alyssa Edwards palette, you had the Norvina Pro palettes, and then it's just like, I don't know, Carly Bible was in there, and then Jackie Aina was in there at some point. The Carly Bible and the Jackie Aina came out before the Pro palettes, I'm pretty sure. I can't keep up with them. It's just like boom, boom, boom. I will say that the formula in here, again, it's okay. It's nothing special. Now, the reason I wanted to mention this in this video, I wanted to make a video all about this palette, but I'm not going to go into detail and swatch every little shade. The pressed glitters in here are really, really weak in my opinion. I've used so many pressed glitters that are so much better than this. They're pretty, but they're hard to work with, especially this one called Liddy. It's right here. It's really weak. Usually with pressed glitters that I'm familiar with, I can swatch them and they have a good swatch. These don't. Liddy is really hard to build up as well. Gemini is better, I would say. But overall, the formula is just okay. And again, if you have past palettes, then you probably don't necessarily need this unless you're just a collector like me and you want to support Amrezy, then I totally understand. But the formula is just okay. It's nothing special. I feel like what drew me into this the most is the packaging. The packaging is absolutely stunning on this palette, I will say that. But something that I wanted to mention in this video, if you're curious what I have on my eyes, I'm wearing the Tati Beauty palette. This is what it looks like. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I have got so much use out of this palette. It's insane. It's my favorite palette here at the moment. If you know me and you've been here on my channel for a while, then you know that I have so many eyeshadow palettes that it's insane. But this is the one that I keep grabbing for, so that's really saying a lot. I cannot put this palette down. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. It's It's just so easy to work with. Literally, if you are a beginner, this would be perfect for you. The shadows kindly just blend themselves. You don't really have to do that much to them. And the reason that I wanted to talk about the Tati Beauty palette in this video was because the pressed glitters in here are insane. They are so nice. And you do have more shades in here than the Amrezy palette. I just kind of wanted to compare these palettes because they're around the same price point, and I prefer this one so much more. You get more shades in this one, but the formula is 10 times better in this palette than the Amrezy palette, and that's a big statement. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I'm serious, you guys. The formula on this is so amazing, and I remember when this came out, I was like, that's boring. I have colors like that. I don't want it. And for some reason, I just bought it. I've seen a few tutorials on it that I really liked. I picked it up, and now I can't put it down. I use it constantly. This is what it looks like. The mattes in here blend so well. And I find myself just being really creative with this palette, which is something that's funny because I thought the colors were boring, but I kind of just mix and match, and it's just really, really pretty. It's good for those glam days, and it's good for those everyday days. I just cannot say enough good things about this palette. I really am impressed, and I cannot wait to see what palette she brings out next. This is so good. And the pressed glitters in this palette outweigh the pressed glitters in this palette 100%. They just don't compare. So what I'm trying to say is I feel like it's a better deal and just better quality to get the Tati Beauty palette instead of the Amrezy palette, just because, again, the mattes in here blend out so well. I did have some trouble with a few of the mattes in here, and the pressed glitters in this palette are just so much better. And I just feel more inspired when looking at this palette. I can look at this palette and I have so many options. I can do so many looks with this palette. I have been grabbing for this a ton. I've created so many beautiful looks with this palette. Again, I cannot say enough good things. I just don't feel like this is worth the money. Again, I feel like people are going to buy it for the packaging, collector's purposes, and I understand that. But I'm telling you guys, if you're really into just buying quality makeup and you want to bank for your buck, then I highly suggest the Tati Beauty palettes. We'll talk about a few of the shades here. So I used Gemini, this pressed glitter here. It was okay. It wasn't the best pressed glitter I used. The Tati Beauty ones are just so easy to work with. This one I had to work with a little bit. This one in the shade called Liddy right here, this one was hard to work with. The mattes in here were pretty good when it comes to the transition shades. I didn't have any problems with these shades down here, like these brown shades. They're very similar. One's just a little bit cooler, one's a little bit warmer. This shade called 1988 was okay. I had a little bit of trouble with that one. The shade in here that really stands out to me is this one called Anastasia. It's the prettiest pink ever. So I will go ahead and swatch that for you guys. It's so pretty. But again, it's nothing worth like picking up the palette for, in my opinion. You're not going to be able to see that. It makes me look like I'm a liar, but this is so pretty. I hope you guys can see it. I am quite fair, and these lights are beaming on me, but really, really pretty. This shade called Barb is pretty. It reminds me of the Carly Bible palette, except this one is so much better. The Carly Bible had like a blue-purple duochrome shadow in it, and it was very weak. This one in the shade Barb is much better, I will say, but overall, I'm just not really impressed with the palette. The color story isn't that unique at all. It's just another pop of pink, another pop of blue, and they tend to do that a lot when it comes to palettes. A lot of brands like to do a neutral palette and then pop in a pink and a blue, and I'm just not into it. I'm not really into this palette. I'm not really a fan. I have palettes that have much better quality. Again, I just wanted to mention this Tati Beauty palette because I feel like it's so much better than this Anastasia palette, and it's around the same price, and you get more shadows in this, and the quality is insane. So I just wanted to get on here and mention my thoughts on the Amrezy palette. No hate, no shade, no tea, but I just wanted to get on here and give you guys my thoughts. I know this is a product a lot of people know about, and I don't feel like a lot of people are like buying it. Well, maybe they are. I don't feel like a lot of people on YouTube are really talking about it is what I meant, but I wanted to get on here and let you guys know my opinion. Again, really pretty packaging. The colors are not unique. The formula is just okay, and the Tati Beauty palette is just so much better in my opinion. The quality is insane. Pressed glitters are so easy to work with. The mattes are amazing, and everything just blends out so well. About the same price, you get more in here. I just can't say enough good things about this palette. I cannot put it down. So I just wanted to get on here and let you guys know what I thought of this palette. I have been playing with this palette for a little bit now, so, but yeah, other than that, if you guys have tried this palette, let me know your thoughts, or if you haven't tried this palette, please let me know your thoughts on it. I'd love to see it in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and if you guys are going to pick this palette up, if you're going to pick it up because you think the quality is nice, if you've swatched it, or if you just think it's a good collector's palette, definitely let me know. And let me know what you think about the Tati Beauty palette. Have you guys try this. Do you like it? But other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for just being here and liking and commenting. It honestly means the world, and don't think that you go unnoticed, because I truly see each and every one of you, and I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. But before you go, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell below so you're notified every time I upload a video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.